So my dear students, I welcome you all to Adiba Tutorials. How are you all? Now in this video, I'll take a new chapter. Let's start history chapter 1, that is French Revolution. See, this chapter is very interesting and it's very important chapter. So you have to be very active in listening each and every event. And this French Revolution, was a great event, not only in the history of France and Europe, but also in that of mankind, you can say. Okay, so means it gave humanity new ideas of liberty, equality, fraternity, which found their way to every hook and corner of the world. Okay, so to know the circumstances and the conditions leading to the French Revolution, it is very important for us to understand this chapter very carefully. Okay, so that you can know that what were the reasons behind that, what were the causes behind that, behind the French Revolution. Fine, so let's start. See, your first heading is different causes of revolution. Fine. Now, after that, we will cover outbreak of revolution, then tennis court oath, National Assembly, France becomes a constitutional monarchy, then Jacobins, then reign of terror in France, then Directory, after that Napoleon Bonaparte, and lastly we will cover the role of women in a French Revolution. Okay, so firstly we will discuss the very important part of this chapter, that is the causes of revolution. Okay, because the French Revolution was a great event. As I told you that it was not only in the history of France and Europe, but for the whole mankind, because when you read about the terms like liberty, equality, fraternity, from where the preamble today is containing these terms. Our country's constitution is inspired from the France. Okay, the framers of the constitution, they studied the constitution and they are inspired. You cannot say that our country's constitution is copied one. No. So you should know about this revolution. So let's start. So first is the causes of the French Revolution. Now, first cause, that is social causes, because the most important cause of the French Revolution was the social cause, as reworked by a historian, that the revolution of 1789 was much less a rebellion against despotism than a rebellion against inequality. Okay, so the social cause was that the French society was divided into three estates. The first estate and second estates were consisted of clergy and nobility. Okay, clergy and nobility. So though smaller in size, they excelled all others in the matter of rank, possession and privileges. Okay, now about the third estate. Third estate members, see, it includes 95% of the population and was that of common people. Okay, and as I told you that first two states were privileged class, but this third state, this was an unprivileged class. Majority of the population was consisted of the peasants, and there were glaring differences in their way of living. I hope social cause is clear to you. Okay, because in that social cause, the third estate members, they were overburdened with many things which you will come to know in the later causes. Now, let's read about the political causes. Political causes means we are talking about the political system. So, in the political system in the 18th century, the changes in agriculture worsened the condition of the peasants. They could not take wood from forest. They had to pay the grazing tax. France was ruled by absolute monarchy. And who was the monarch? Louis XVI. And Louis XVI was a man of mediocre intelligence, because that the king Louis XVI was not very intelligent king. Okay, so this was the main reason that he was unable to look after his country. So at the age of 20 years he got married to Austrian princess Marie Antoinette. Now Marie Antoinette was beautiful but was an extravagant, and she interferes too much in the state affairs. For that purpose, she was known as an empty headed queen. So you can say that the political system in France was completely absurd. Okay, it was not according to the king, but you can say the queen and the king, they all work according to the favoritism around them. Okay, so that is why the reason of French Revolution, the political cause became the reason of the French Revolution. Now come to financial causes. Now financial causes means from the long years of war, the cost of maintaining an army, cost of maintaining the palace of Versailles, running the government offices had drained the wealth of France. Okay, thus the government was forced to increase the taxes, but were not sufficient. Whatever the increment they do for taxes, and the taxes, which state were overburdened of taxes? The third state members, they were all overburdened of taxes. Fine. So the government was forced to increase the taxes but were not sufficient, because they were paid only by third state, and the upper classes were exempted from the taxes. Thus, the state was always in the financial crisis. Okay. Now again, after the social cause, intellectual cause is also very important one, because you know that the French Revolution, how the means how it took place in the hearts of the third state members, how they decided to revolt against the despotic rule or the inequality in the society. So uh, first point is, to make the revolution successful, it is the middle class who always takes a lead. Because wherever we will study about the revolution anywhere, so what we will found that the middle class, they took the responsibility for the revolts. Fine. So this is an educated class, and it played an important role in bringing the awareness among the people. Thus, 18th century has been called the age of reason. Now, this question can come, that why the 18th century is called as the age of reason. You know what is the answer? Simple answer is there, that this was the very first time during the French Revolution that the people of the third estate, means those who were the unprivileged class, they never tried for the revolt. First time they decided to oppose the system of the country, to oppose the inequality which was undergoing in the society. Okay, so firstly they means questioned the system, means the reason that how they are doing such type of ruling in the country, and what opportunities, what things, what facilitations the monarchy is giving to its people. So that is why the this French Revolution is called as the age of reason. Now, the intellectuals of France highlighted the existence of the government and other privileged classes, and aroused people's feeling against the prevailing inequalities. Then they created a sense of dissatisfaction among the people to the existing conditions and encouraged them to nourish a feeling of hatred against nobles, clergy, and other higher classes. The philosophers, means the personalities as the philosophers in this chapter, are Voltaire, Rousseau, Montesquieu. They played a very important role, and you can say that they really changed the mindset of the people role, and you can say that they really changed the mindset of the people of the unprivileged class, and they created a sense of dissatisfaction among them, and which means took the outbreak of the revolution. Okay, so now we will read one by one Voltaire, Rousseau, and Montesquieu in detail. Okay, now firstly we will read about Voltaire. Through his writings, he exposed the high handedness of clergy and the nobles. Okay, he exposed the high handedness of clergies and the nobles, because exactly in the name of religion, what hell they were creating in the society, that was supposed to be shown to the people for that great revolution. Fine. So he believed that all religions are absurd and contrary to reason, which fed the fires of revolution. He also gave the idea of a society based on freedom and equal laws and equal opportunities. Fine. Now, next, Rousseau. He raised voice against arbitrary and tyrannical rule and propounded the concept of democracy. See, India, we are having democratic rule over here. Okay, parliamentary form of government, democracy is here. But you know that from where this concept came, you must know about this, because that is why I told you now that this French Revolution is very important one, which propounded the concept of democracy. Okay, so he said that man is born free, yet everywhere he is in chains. He also talked of the state of nature. One man was free and said that freedom was lost following the emergence of wealth. In his social contract, he guaranteed the freedom, equality, and happiness which man had enjoyed in the state of nature. So this was all about the ideas of Rousseau. He is certain that the king should hold office only so long as he enjoyed the confidence of the people. Means this was the uh, starting, means you can say uh, the ideology which Rousseau created of democracy. Democracy is this only, that where the people, they give the space and opportunity, and they used to elect their representatives. Okay, so here also the same, that the king should hold office only so long as he enjoyed the confidence of the people. Now, Montesquieu. Montesquieu was the philosopher and the writer who challenged the theory of divine right of the king and insisted the kind of government that is best suited to the people, and outlined the principles of constitutional monarchy. Because before that, means at the time of the monarchs, exactly what monarchs uh, used to create, you can say the false, the illusions among the, I mean, subjects, the people, the kingdom. What they create, that there is a theory of divine rights. I mean, whatever the king uh, instruct, whatever the king tell you to do, means that is his comes under his power, and that the subjects has have to do that. Fine. So he What he did, he outlined the principles of constitutional monarchy. Also, he proposed a division of power. Today, in our country, the three organs of government are there. What are those three organs? Judiciary, legislature, and executive. Fine. So, who gave these three division of power? These three division of powers were given by Montesquieu, with the government between legislature, executive, and judiciary, which was put into force in USA after the American War of Independence. I hope till here it is clear to you about the various causes of this great revolution. Okay, so in the next video, I'll continue with the outbreak of revolution. Okay, then after that, the tennis court oath, National Assembly, how the France became a constitutional monarchy, and how it abolishes the monarchy and became republic. This all I'll cover in the next video. So do watch next video. Bye bye.